Hello, everyone. Good time zone to you. Welcome. We're going to kick off the week on Going Optimal with a premier draft. Chat has spoken. We put in a vote. Got some extra voters around here. I was on limited resources last week, and this morning some new friends have showed up to hang out with us. Everybody, be nice. We got to impress the company. Look busy. Be polite. Ask them if they need anything. Do you need anything? You good? You need some? Do you want some? Can I get you a beverage or a snack? Can I get you an incredible sponsor like CardKingdom.com for everything you need for your tabletop Magic experience, whether it's singles, supplies, sealed product? Card Kingdom has it all for you. They're my sponsor. They have been for quite a while. For you LR friends coming by today, a lot of you maybe are newer LR listeners. Back when I was on the show in the early days, first 100-ish episodes, we got our first sponsor for the podcast, and it was Card Kingdom. They were the first business to ever say, hey, I'll give you money if you'll tell people how great our business is. And we were like, sure, let's do that, because they are a great business. And that started my relationship with them. I've been pitching for them. Well, I took a little 7-year break while I was at Wizards of the Coast, but then when I came back out, started content creation again, they tapped on my shoulder again, and I really appreciate that. They are just wonderful people. I know so many of the employees there, and it's just a great company, and they're going to get you what you need ASAP. And really, I'm going to plug their buy list again here. If you said, Ryan, what's like the number one most dominant feature of Card Kingdom, it would be close between just their inventory and their buy list. And those are very close together because the incredible buy list is what leads to the incredible inventory. But if you're ever looking to flip cardboard to cash, you're doing it wrong if you don't at least put Card Kingdom in the mix and see what they're giving. Because in my experience, in a random pile of Magic cards that you're trying to sell, nobody gives you more for that pile on average than CardKingdom.com. So check them out via my affiliate links. Let them know you got there from here. Keeps me on the air. We're at a mere 820 gems, so we got to enter with gold. Fortunately, we have a big dragon horde of gold, so no big deal there. We'll pop in here and hit to draft view. I did do the draft event twice over the weekend. Once I had an incredible deck, and of course went like 0-2. It's just like, dang it! Like I drafted 2 decks, and the one I thought was best went 0-2. And then I did get 5 wins with the other deck, and I want to show you the deck. Gotta find it. Yeah, I certainly don't play as much best of 3. I don't think that was the problem, though. I feel like the problem. No, that's boring stuff. Is it this one? I screwed up. Maybe I didn't save it. We can go look at it later if we want to. But spoilers, it was a werewolf deck. I went 5 wins with another Tovar-based werewolf deck. Not kidding. It had 1 4-drop. Everything else was 3 or less, which I think is the key to a good actual werewolf deck at this point. Lots of pestilent wolves and combat tricks. Should we take the rare to start? This looks fun. It's not... I think the Awakener is probably the grown-up pick. But let's be fun. I like red spells anyway, and this is a great red spells excuse. Honestly, if I want to do red spells, again, I should probably take just the Flame Channeler. It's never great to start with a gold card. So I recognize that this is not the correct pick exactly. It's more the fun pick. I think the correct pick is just a single colored spell, either the Channeler or the Awakener. And I think you're going to end up playing those cards happily more often than we're going to happily play a Rem. Yeah, so I like Awakener or Flame Channeler, and Awakener in the better color. So yeah, Awakener is a solid pick there. And let's not even worry about the like, if there was some burn spell, I would consider it, but I just want to take best card here. It might just be Castaway. Silver Bolt is nice and flexible, but still pretty clunky. Commando is fine, but that's something I'd rather wheel. Then there's more gold that I'm not interested in. So yeah, I am going to take what I consider the best card in the pack here, which is the Castaway. Hound Tamer, excellent 3-drop. This is the kind of werewolf that I would have been happy to play in that low curve werewolf deck from the weekend. Captain, though, is, I just love Captain. Even at 4, it doesn't completely suck, and it just gets better and better and better as you are attacking and attacking and attacking. Evolving Wilds to fix. Dissipate, I'm happy with the Dissipate in the format in general. There's a lot of value in graveyard cards when you can dissipate flashback spell or whatever. You can take that 2-for-1 and turn it into a 1-for-1. But if I'm going to be literally taking the best card in every pack right now as we try to figure out what the table's telling me, I'm going to go ahead and take the Hound Tamer narrowly over Search Party Captain. Captain does match our opening rare, so there's that. But I think Hound Tamer is just a good enough card to grab here as we attempt to put our ear to the ground and find the right lane. That's all I'm trying to do here. No great picks here. Geist Wave versus some medium green. I could take a wolf. I never mind just to, you know, if we end up playing Hound Tamer, if we end up in green, 2/2s for 2 are just going to play in any color we end up in. And so I'm going to take the thing you always need bottomless amounts of over the medium interaction. Now we get a Festival Crasher that could be part of the red plan, although it's the only other, it's the next, you know, we have no other red cards yet. Flip the switch, goes in the Castaway pile. And this is a bunch of solid cards. I mean, Defend blows you out or gets blown out. I kind of do want to take the Festival Crasher. But yeah, I guess blue-green is decent, and flip the switch. Like, if we just were to cut this and end up in blue-green, this would be fine. So yeah, blue-green seems like a lane we could take if the table wants to give it. Then there's a Seize saying, are you sure? One last hedge to the Seize side. We can just take a duel that would go in the green-blue deck no matter what. I think it's still early enough that I'm going to hedge. I'm going to take the Seize. Yeah, it also could splash in blue-green. That's a good point. Yeah, it's true that the signals for red haven't quite been there, but this is kind of signally at pick 6. Wow, Diregraph Horde is pretty darn signally at pick 7. We don't have any black cards yet. Are we this open that we're going to take a Horde, or do we just take a Dominance, Geist Wave, and stay in this blue-green lane? This is far and away the best card here. Like, shockingly the best card here. Like, I hate this card. It's so good and it's still here. But it's also a really awkward time to be taking a first card in this color. Not giving up much, but duel is interaction. That's enough that I'm worried. But yeah, we'll take the Horde. The duel, if it was just a little better than the duel, I don't think it would be that close. Startle or another Castaway. Yeah, Castaway over the Startle. Although this card can be very disappointing sometimes, but boy, when you get it in your graveyard, you're so happy. Let's take it. And then a Consider or a zombie who considers. Well, not exactly, but you know what I mean. So, which do you like, though? Maybe if we take the zombie and the Horde lane ends up open, we could do that. And it does block. And after enough of these, it feels like you've drawn a card. I'll take the zombie, but that was a close one. Bolt comes all the way back around to jump in this deck quite happily. And Devious, Cover Up, or Plummet. It's not best of 3. Plummet loses a lot of luster there, so we'll just grab the Cover Up. Geist Wave here this late suggests maybe we did find a good lane. Storm Spirit, Storm Rider Spirit, no kind of impressive card, but certainly playable. And Turn the Earth, this is the one home for it. No, found ourselves a green rare here. It's nothing amazing. I find this just dies. But it's kind of a weirdo card that does some stuff. Attackers you control have Death Touch effectively, and they can't mess with your untapped creatures. What are we giving up here? Not much. Vivisection could play in a deck like this if we don't get the cards we want, but maybe we'll wheel this. Some black interaction here, but we're fading from that plan. In fact, I'm going to cut this and cut the Rem. Still could potentially splash the seas. I'm not thinking that's likely, but it's not off the table yet. And that leaves us with another weak pack. I'm just going to take Startle and try to wheel a Pestilent Wolf or another Spirit or this Otherworldly Gaze. But Startle's fine here. Cover Up on the wheel for a double Cover Up. Mill them out plan. Is it time for a Bird Admirer, or do I just stick with the 2s? Possibly even a Frenzy if we think like we're going to splash the seas. Defenestrate would be a splash card, and I don't know if that's good enough to splash. Yeah, Admirer, especially in blue-green, where you're trying to make it to a late game, a powerful late game. Ideally, in blue-green, you just get your own flyers, but we don't have them yet. Yeah, we could consider the Rebirth on the Black Splash too, but I'm just gonna, if this wheels, we'll consider that. I'm just gonna stick to the core. Splashing has been really hard on my results lately. Not even lately, just like for a long time. Like again, I was talking about it on LR, how far I've fallen on splashing of late. Just feels like bad idea. Sentry seems like a good idea though. We'll grab that. Another zombie that get disastrously worse in multiples in many ways. Startle number 2 or Secrets number 1. We'll take, or Might number 1, but we'll take Startle number 2. Intruder over the Revival, which can play in a deck like this. Yeah, I wouldn't mind some Farmers for sure. But Intruder's a good sight to see. Hey, there's a Farmer. There's also a Dissipate, but we're going to grab our first Farmer. Be happy that it's here. You just got to make sure you want to. Like right now, 7 instant sorceries, including the Seas itself, is like, whatever. Not good enough. But Sentry number 2 over Gale Drifter. The green-blue deck is looking to get graveyard value, and we're pretty low at 4. But I'm not passing a 2 of this power level for a 4 at this time. Geist Wave for some more interaction. We do have a Geist Wave and 2 Startles right now, though. So I'm going to take Evolving Wilds, both to potentially assist a splash, or really just to help us play our own 2-color cards. I like a Wilds in a 2-color deck. Gaze over Wolf, I believe, is the place to go here. We could take a Ghoul if we thought we might splash the black, I suppose. But if we splash black, are we splashing this Grizzly Ghoul? I don't think so. So I'm going to take the more on-plan card, even though it's not great. I find Geistwave playable when I have ETB effects. I find saving your creature and drawing a card, or repeating ETB effects while drawing a card to put Geistwave over the top of being marginal into solid. And then if you don't have those things, though, it's just kind of worse than the unsummon, right? We'll take a Grizzly Ghoul here, though. Sure. Might is fine. Putting this stuff, we know, last pick Revival, I think we're playing that. And then this plays. I'd rather just have an Organ Hoarder, and maybe we just want Revenge of the Drowned, but yeah, I mean, you can call Geistwave medium. I don't know what kind of grade you would give it, but I consider a bad card in the like D- range. Like it. I guess D is bad, but I don't think this is a D. I think it's like a C-. And then if you're if you have a lot of ETB, and or your opponent is using a lot of removal, or especially enchantment removal, then it moves to like C+. Yeah, this might be the Revenge might be better, but I'm gonna be Greed Monster. And this too bad it goes bottom of library. Let's take a third Castaway and really try to focus on self-milling stuff here. Well, I don't know. I don't say medium when I mean bad. I say bad when I mean bad. What do you say when you say... What do you mean when you say medium, Rob? Rocket! That's my dog. He's my friend. He's a good boy. He barks a lot. Another intruder? Seems fine. Another farmer? Seems fine. There's that jack-o'-lantern. I've not really ever done the jack-o'-lantern splash before, but I haven't run the green-blue deck too many times. This is like my third or fourth time playing this deck. Heck, you could take Graphkeeper for a splash, but no need to splash anything when you've got a Falcon Abomination here. We'll just grab that. A lot of playables. We're at 29 cards here. We get to cut some stuff. Here's the Fading Hope I was talking about. Like, the Fading Hope versus Geistwave question is interesting to me. Twice as much is a lot. 2 is more than 1. Twice as much even. But this just has more utility. Neither of them are vital. Neither of them, I feel like, if I have a blue deck that doesn't have bounce, I'm not like, oh, I'm doomed. But I do appreciate a wave. Yeah, no answer sightings. I could take another Rebirth, and maybe we do splash the black here at this point. Double Rebirth is really some late game power for this deck. We got the Evolving Wilds. I think I'm going to take it over another Startle. And we have 2 Startles. There's another duel, though. I guess my time has passed. Well, rewarded with a Wrangler. That's great. I'll take that. Is this a tapping deck? We're not going to main deck return its best of 1, so we'll take tapping and consider it, but I don't think even though you could play it in a deck like this, I don't think it's powerful enough. And pretty happy to get a wolf here. I don't know how exactly we're doing on 2s, but I know I'd rather have another wolf in my pile than that flyer. And then a late path here kind of solidifies the ability to do the black splash. Another might. It's going to be an interesting build. Definitely not seizing. And the Gale Drifter comes back to just add to the playables. Sure. I'm inclined to run the Rebirths in this. It is very much a splash card. Although let's put the stuff that's frankly on the chopping block. Probably just have to be pretty harsh here about what we're cutting. Maybe we don't need Bird Admirer since we got some flyers of our own. But I can even put this in the... put it in the deck, but in the cuttable camp. Geist Wave, cuttable, Gaze, cuttable. Some of these mites. For splashing, we want to leave the path. If not, we don't. So like it's almost like this is this package here. Oh yeah, if we're splashing, this would go in the splash pile. If we want. I mean, I guess with Wrangler, we should play the Horde in a black splash situation. I think I'm going to do the black splash. As much as reticent as I've been of late to splash, I'm going to try again. Charge that football. Let's see. So get into deck building. There you go. My head is no longer on the chopping block. I guess Silverbolt could also be considered. I mean, we got a lot of medium to bad. I didn't say bad. If it's bad, I wouldn't play it. But a lot of medium interaction. Silverbolt, Geist Wave, mites in a non-Coven focused deck. Maybe it's not that I'm looking to reanimate anything particularly good. It's just that these represent long game attrition power. We're not reanimating anything awesome, though. That's true. It would be much better if we had some sort of 6-drop creature to get back. I guess we don't need to splash if, like, what's the job of these? To give us gasoline late in the game, right? That's the job of these, because the job is not to reanimate a awesomely powerful creature that is single-handedly going to take over the game. We're just trying to reanimate for value, to reanimate twice off of one card, right? So, yeah, these are okay targets, but it's an excellent point from Media that they are, while they are fine, they're the only 2 we can name that are fine. We can put Stormrider Spirit in that list as not being awful. I certainly wouldn't mind reanimating like a Hound Tamer. We have some bomby creatures, a Skob Wrangler, second copy of Skob Wrangler, second copy of Hound Tamer. Those types of things can be fine. But again, fine is not great. All right, fine. Let's cut the splash then. That means I really want this Memory Deluge. Because this is now kind of doing the job that we were asking of our rebirths, which is to say, give us some fuel. Give us late game fuel, right? So this is a cleaner, better late game fuel card. This is a much worse one, but could, if we have things we don't mind being in the graveyard, like the Castaways. I think with a Castaway, 3 Castaways, Gaze plays. Yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody's wrong. Like, yes, reanimating Horde is great, but like to be happy with the splash, to be happy running this card, I think we need more. We need to be able to say that about more than just like one card. That it's reanimating Horde is great. Reanimating Sereth is good, and then from there it just really starts to go downhill quickly on quality of reanimation. I'm cutting at least one might. Where is... Oh, yeah, I already cut the cover up. Okay. So, yeah. Oop, I didn't necessarily want to cut that. But I think with Gale Drifter, and if we play the Spirit and the Intruders and the Abomination, we can cut Birded Mire because we just have our plan up in the air. Yeah, we can cut the path. I think cut Birded Mire. I'm going to cut Turn the Earth. If we're going to play kind of one of these cards that only this type of deck wants, I'll just play the Revival. This is pretty slow too, though. The Gaze I'm keeping because of the power of Triple Castaway. Turn 1, Otherworldly Gaze, find a Castaway, and bin it. Like how many things are we happy to put in the graveyard? 3, 4. I guess maybe that's not a lot either. Like that does make this a little more cuttable. So then we're looking. Let's look at our interaction here. So we got these startles that I like, and then these lesser interactions. Let's. What is our ETB situation? Maybe I can just get rid of the Geist Wave, because as I was saying, when we got triple farmer, resetting these isn't the worst. It's true. We do have triple farmer, so maybe we just we need cuts, so we'll just cut the stuff that's least impressive. I think I like Might a little better than, but maybe we need to run both. Although we start to go low on interaction when we do that. It's 2 startles and a Might, or maybe I just cut the Revival. I mean, yeah, this deck really didn't get there because we didn't get Ants, and I had like 1 Beast sighting and didn't take it at the time, and now like Ants and sightings are what really give you a place to go with this kind of strategy. I really don't feel like we have a place to go. So I'm not sure what we're ramping to, or, you know, I don't love this deck's game plan because we're kind of on hope we deploy more stuff, get value out of our value cards that allows us to slightly attrition the opponent in a way that has good attacks. Like, don't love where this deck is at frankly, because we're like, yeah, it's like our game plan is to Hound Tamer Flyers until they're big enough to win. Yeah, Renshank and I both arrive at like, I mean, our Hound Tamer is kind of our plan here. Hound Tamer and a suite of smallish flyers that can be made bigger, which is not a great plan, let me tell you. I don't love it. But I think I do cut the Revival. So let's focus in on just the highest quality cards we have then. And we're kind of getting there. This is a pretty stacked pile right here. Hey, Blade Fury. Welcome. And Fury friends. Polishing off the deck building here. We got 3 farmers and 3 castaways. So call it Farming Resentment. Because I don't know, maybe that's Farming Resentment will be fine. Let's see, anybody redeem any bling? Nope. All right. We'll go with my favorites. Revival could be a Hound Tamer number 2. It's true. I just hate the fail case when Revival is my only 3-drop. You know, and it's like I need to get on board, and instead I'm just looking at a Revival that is way off from being relevant. And we just don't have that many things that are that great to get back. Yeah, you've named a great one to get back, but I mean, I don't even want to revive my Castaways, right? Yeah, I guess. It is, if you can mill it, it's kind of a free card. Yeah, with 3 farmers, we could shave a land. Well, we also have 2 cuts to make anyway. Let's see. Look at our overall numbers. 19. I don't love cutting the Stormrider Spirit just because we're so low on, like, we don't have any top end. Like, this is our top end. So I don't think I want to cut my top end. And spell content, I mean, we only have 6 in here right now. Sorry, not even that. We have, I was counting the artifact. We have 5 instants. So if you're going, this would be 6, and you could sort of get it up to, like, you could push in that direction, but I don't think you'd end up necessarily with anything more powerful than where we're kind of landing here. So I'm going to still bring it in on this. I don't want to cut 2s, although I suppose with 3 Castaways I could cut a wolf. And it is so we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I could let a wolf go. 7 is fine, especially with Larder and Silverbolt as being alternative early plays. And then, yeah, I think with 3 farmers and best of 1, we can shave a land. That's not being too greedy. I'm really trying not to be greedy on that front, but Trips Farmer on a curve that has 3 4-drops and 1 5-drop, I think, and best of 1, it all adds up to it's fine, and especially the Evolving Wilds, allowing me to still have 8 sources of blue is also relevant. An example, I'll show you the deck later, I hope, if I remember, but my werewolf deck from the high stakes tournament yesterday was so low to the ground with it. The curve topped at literally a single 4-drop. Everything else was 3 or under. And I would have run 15 if I'd had an Evolving Wilds, and therefore still could have gone 7/7 Evolving Wilds and had 8 of each. But I really didn't feel like I could go to 7 sources of either of those colors. So I did 16 just because I felt like I could not go below 8 sources per color. So that's the power of the Evolving Wilds, allowing you to do that. Which I'm going to do here on, yeah, I'm going to do it on blue because we're kind of treating farmer as fixing, and generally you want your nod to go to the color that's also fixing the color you have less of. So by having 9 sources of green, we give us excellent sources for farmers, which can then find the blue if we're missing it. So even though Deluge has a couple of blue pips, we're going shaving off an island. Calling this a deck. Running a Parpole. If we were to play this event out a gazillion times, what would our average win count be closest to? You vote. And we'll get here, get the battlefield. Welcome to chat, Neodoria. Thank you for the vote, and thank you for hanging out today. This looks fine. No creature action yet, but we have Bolt and a Desperation Startle if we really want to. Ideally, though, we find one of our many 2-drop creatures off the top of the library here. That would be perfect. No luck on the 2-drop creatures. We could startle a Castaway if we want, but not gonna. Although I do want to find a second green. That would be a reason to startle, just to go through our library, but I'm hoping we find a second green when we cast this farmer here, so that there's no real reason to startle for no value except the cycle right now. Try to get a little more value out of our startle once the board is full of death touchers and the like. Startle's great when your opponent thinks they are trading with your death toucher, and instead it becomes a straight kill with your death toucher. 3 mana open from Oppo. Covetous Castaway, literally a turn late. I hate it when my cards are a turn late. You're late, Castaway. You should be on the battlefield right now. Oh well. There's that forest. Great. Now we can cast our Viper next turn. You like playing Castaway? But what does that do for us? It's not like it's going to die soon. I mean, now the Hoarder's out, maybe, but at the time, I didn't see what it would do besides sit there. Now we get to go Viper and just go ahead and offer the farmer. Oh, sure, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Cast the Covetous Castaway because we don't care if they flip it. I understand your suggestion now. I went with max mana, it worked out, but Castaway would have been fine too, for sure. It would have played around the flip. I am just going to play the rare. They already had the trade on the Organ Hoarder. We've each gotten value out of those cards. And honestly, offering them the Castaway in the yard is probably actively not great. I mean, we could swing. We just actually give them the Castaway in the yard. The thing is, if we don't give them the Castaway in the yard, what's our long game plan? Just win on the Stormrider Spirit alone? I mean, it could be. Like they don't have anything in the air yet. We're about to get in the air. I think I'm going to say no attacks here because I don't want to give them the free Castaway in the yard. They probably have their own tools, some sacrifice stuff or whatever, but I like not helping them here. And I'll take this trade, sure. Next turn, we're going to try and get the Interloper via Spirit. And the Silver Bolt helps us with that conceit. And what I mean by that is any pauses that would have been caused by the Spirit are explainable by the Bolt, so we're not telegraphing that we have this. No pause from Oppo, so I'm going to assume this is clean. Larder Zombie is fine. See, and now we can bolt the Scoundrel, Larder Zombie, hold up Might, or Larder Zombie Castaway, or hold up Startle. In any case, the plan of don't let him have an easy Castaway flip and work the Spirit angle right now is looking like a decent plan. We don't know what these cards are or what's lurking off the top of their library, but right now as it sits, this is pretty good. I'm going to get the Scoundrel dead while shields are fairly down. And then Zombie holding up Might. Or just Castaway. I think just Castaway of our own is fine. Then we can Zombie. Next turn. Yeah, Auto Tapper got me. That's all right. Larder Zombie wasn't really doing anything on the battlefield anyway. If any, the real drawback is that it sets us back a mana this turn, but it looks like that's not going to matter either. Kind of funny, we're just looking for things not to die between the Opportunist and the Castaway. We just want this spirit to go the distance here. Now this thing can exile, can't be, and then you transform. So it's got a lot of things it can be. Becomes a copy. So it can be pretty big, but it doesn't seem like it's that disastrous for us. As long as we continue to get there in the air here. And now Oppo just kind of giving us the Castaway. I like that. Don't even need Might. I'm just going to let him... I'm going to... I guess we could, like, double block. If we double block, they put Larder first, though, right? So I really just want Castaway to die. This is fine. Yeah, they have an Opportunist, and that's not great. But now we have a 3/4 flyer. And we can do that and hold up the Might. That's interesting. Start with the Spirit. No reach over here. Gale Drifter gives us not 2 spells up, so yeah, we'll just stick with Castaway. Oh, did I screw up? Let's put this and this and Bolt or Flip. Do we care about Bolt? Bolt, good. Yeah, Bolt's good on this board, so we'll put the Bolt back in. Yeah, Flip's not getting any better, so that stays. Siege Zombie. Always scary. Oppo getting quite wide over there. Now if they come with the 5/5, we can make a 5/6 that becomes a 4/5. We could trade Castigator off for this thing. But we can't because it shrinks everything. So really we're just racing that and we're fine taking this one. Well, we can chump later with what we draw or with the zombie. But right now we take 5. Especially don't want to give him more cards off a chump right now. Might go for Might for the card draw. If shields look down. I mean, they got a card and mana. And, okay, there. So that... Alright, they really just are trying to find answers to our flyers, and we are really just trying to get them dead before that happens. I am going to use Might. Since everything is known here, I know that I can Might hit Coven and draw a card and get extra 2 damage in. Farmer, let's see, 5, 6, 7. We farmer down to 4. Presume we find a land, we get back up to 5. And then off 5, we can Might and Startle, or we can Gale Drifter only. We'd also Might and end up with 5 mana, see where we end up, and just decide after we Might. Or I just hold the might, hope that they can't find a thing to disrupt the plan for this card later, and we use it next turn, and this turn just Farmer Gale Drifter. That seems more correct. So then let's farm first, see what's up. And at least we do have these 2 cards for our attack, but we know what Oppo's cards are right now, so I just don't see a use for them at the moment. Yeah, with Gale Drifter and them dropping to 7 here, Gale Drifter plus 3 power flyers plus might says 1 single removal spell for a flyer doesn't get it done. Yeah, they have a lot of possible draws, but you know, Organ Hoarder is going to take up 4 of their mana, so they're going to have to find way out with 3 mana, because a single removal spell off the top doesn't do it. So they need to like draw into 2 cards here somehow. So we're just going to hope they can't do that, and then we look pretty good for next turn. Willing to throw these zombies and the farmer in front of anything attacking on the ground. We just want to preserve our flyers. And we can even larder zombie before it dies to get 1 scry ahead of our hopefully final turn before winning this game. That's the idea. So now 4 mana, 1 unknown card. See, I don't know how they get it done. I just don't think there's a single card, unless maybe it's I don't know. Is there a 4 mana spell that affects 2 creatures? Something with flashback? I don't know. I can't think of it. There you go. An intruder. Yeah, that could do it. So there you go. So they had the 1, but that's not going to be enough. This doesn't even matter. I mean, whatever. I'm going to let this happen because it just doesn't matter. We're now just trying to get to our turn so we can win. And let's go back to the turn we decided not to send into the castaway with the Death Toucher. Yeah, right. I almost did it anyway, and then that would have been an embarrassing loss. It would have been like, welcome to streaming, where all of your worst magic moments are laid bare for chat amusement. But I'm just blocking their biggest things here and hoping to live. Why do we care about that? Did I give him life or something? Yeah, why do we care? Now you got me nervous. All right.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Thank goodness Siege Zombie doesn't drain. Boy, if Siege Zombie drained instead of pinged, that would be a heck of a card. It was already pretty darn good. So I have a store here, and I just got, as a customer of that website, got a notification that they're doing another cash back type deal. There's like basically 10% off at TCG Player coming up starting tomorrow, I think, which means after stream today, I'm going to spend all day listing cards. Today is a listing day because I got to get ready for all the hungry folks looking for discounted cardboard rectangles. All these stupid castaways that we're drawing. Castaways, you're just supposed to be on top of our library when we cast Farmer. That is your job, not appearing in my hand. Although it certainly has a good block on a Wrangler. Very funny, Magic Gods. Ha ha ha. So funny are the Magic Gods. Now if I play Farmer, I'm going to mill like no lands and just like the perfect 3 cards that we wanted to draw. That's true. We can shuffle them back in, right? I just wish I could do it now ahead of playing a Farmer. I guess I just leave up Intruder and we try and eat the Abomination. That's fine. We're telegraphing a little bit with our pauses, but that's just the nature of the Arena Beast. It works for and against you here and there. Now, interestingly, like if Naxo FM or, I don't know, Nax here has a Startle, for example, they can actually tap down the Intruder before we block. But let's see if they've got something like Startle. Doesn't seem like it. No pauses. Nom, 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 nom. Delicious. Just gonna go Gale Drifter here. It uses all our mana, puts a flyer in the air, and then next turn we have Farmer into Castaway. And I suppose for perfect, proper play, should attack with the Intruder and then play the Gale Drifter. But they were always going to tap the Intruder, so it doesn't really matter. They have like Geist Wave mana, bounce mana over here, so really just should, you know, just mentioning, I know it's a leak of mine. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to play this. It's practically like F6 type plays where I cast out so that it auto advances for me on some level, but really... Yeah, Castaway in front of Crasher, that's true. But heck, I'll put Gale Drifter in front of Crasher. No problem. Actually, I wouldn't. I'm just going to race in the air. They can come at me with Crasher if they want. Hound Tamer. Remember that was our card that we really liked? I'm going to still do the Farmer play, though. We want to find our land drop. And do I need to do it pre... If I do a land drop, it doesn't give us anything extra in combat. So I'm actually more threatening in combat to hold up the mana. So I'm going to be a good boy and do my attacks first. We have Slim, Reach Out and Punch You type removal. In fact, boy, we passed on a couple of those fight cards, and now it's really hurting. Like, we don't really have a way to interact with a Wrangler. Silverbolt. We have Bolt. Full stop. Like, that's the problem with this deck, is that our interaction is non-existent, so we're really stuck on a very narrow plan of flyers getting through before they can get us, basically. Our own Wrangler, but it hit the yard, and Castaways can put it back in the deck, though, if we can get there. And here's another one. Why not? Need like a Wilson meme or something. Is that Tom Hanks? Get that man a volleyball. Hound Tamer, can't get it done this turn. I'd rather just add another flyer in the air. If this were a basic land, it'd be fun to Abomination Farmer, but we're going to get another flyer in the air and make him tap us down again here. And then if we draw a basic land next turn, we can Hound Tamer activate Hound Tamer. So then next turn, our draw is going to be useful no matter what it is. Do we have attacks with non-intruders? We're at 20, but a deck using Crashers and Scobs and whatnot can put up so much damage so quickly. I'm going to keep everything back, especially since we want these defenders, these castaways to die on defense anyway. So where I like a Geist Wave, obviously naming the card that is perfect for the situation is easy to do, but in terms of like why do I consider Geist Wave to be a fine playable, like not embarrassing at all to run? Because people still play Lock, you know, because I mean it just ends up with enough utility sometimes where it can really perform sometimes basically. No Hound Tamer, activate Hound Tamer. So let's go ahead and see what they want to do about the error. And we'll still keep plunking away 1 2-powered flying attacker at a time. It's true. I mean, but it like attack with a farmer and basically call them on blocking with their Crasher or not. If they don't, we get an extra 2 in. If they do, they bounce off, and then what? I'm just going to leave it back. I just don't think it's enough. I don't think it's important enough, and I wouldn't mind it back on defense with this other stuff. Oppo, pretty screwed over here mana-wise. I haven't mentioned that, but just acknowledging that they're playing a pretty good game here, being stuck on 4. But of course, they're also, you know, they have a higher spell density than us in terms of that. But we're looking good here. Yeah, Castaways are free larder tap. We larder twice, truly lardering harder. All right, they got a flyer now. That's the big wah-wah for us, although 2 lands away from double taming, and so won't be too bad. Wait, hold on a second. There we go. Interesting, like I'm going to larder, I'm not even sure what I'm looking for. On the one hand, I want 2 land to get to the Tamer. On the other hand, I want action. So let's see what's there, at the very least. Actually, we're going to take that because it allows us to crash in with all these flyers and not lose one of them. So we're going to keep that. We don't get to activate and intruder, but this gets another flyer in the air that we can start taming. Interesting that they tapped that down. I think the flyers are still where we are applying the most annoying pressure. Maybe it's time to get everything in. I still want the castaways back threatening to die on defense, though. I could send in the farmer and the zombie. So I think we do farmer and zombie here as extra attackers, but that's it. So we're just squeezing some damage through here, trying to get enough in that we can get wide enough to alpha. Let's see where this puts things. That's true. Wouldn't have bounced off though, right? If we tame a, I mean, yeah, it's true. Could have tamed there and started building it up. I don't know. We got another flyer out at least. Do we want it, Knight? Now Knight helps them over here and us over here. Still probably better for us, but really the this creature doesn't get that much better at Knight. Other werewolves have trample, but that doesn't really matter too much for the deck. All right, more land. Sorry, I thought I was passing to their turn, honestly. I just got distracted. Didn't larder, and I should have. But I kind of wanted land anyway, so that worked out. At this point, the question... Well, let's go to a combat. See if they even want... What they want to tap and how. The Wrangler's becoming a bit of an all-star here, although they can't really double tap with Wrangler before they lose too many blockers where we can just send other stuff. So we're probably on counter holding pattern right now, and that's okay. I could send the Abomination, and it has the bounce block as observed. But then we're just kind of making him do that, and it's not very good. I'm just going to say no attacks, we'll pass, and we'll add counters before we untap. Really, we need to make... Oh, as I say, what's going on? Oh, the Scob Wrangler. I was afraid someone was going to get pinged. If they had Play with Fire, it's a top deck. I can't worry too much about perfect top decked answers. They happen sometimes, but if you're altering your play because your opponent might have drawn the perfect answer off the top, that's a little too narrow. Mostly they're not going to have it. Although now, okay, no value Elementalist. They have to be worried about our width here. Now, where to put these counters? They're going to start tapping stuff, and we just gonna mix it around here, and start building up our flyers in fairly, because now they're going to tap this one, right? So we untap, and now they're going to tap this one. So there's going to be a bunch of them tapping the stuff we make bigger, but eventually... Yeah, that's interesting. JC says build the ground. Don't worry about the flyers. Build something on the ground they have to tap. The trouble is a 6/5 makes that tough to come by. And I keep forgetting to zombie. Sorry about that. That's just leaving value on the table. I could keep finding cards I'm fine with having found anyway, but it's bad to not do the thing. I'm screwing up by not doing that. Do we have attacks on Castaway now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers to our 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attackers. But of their 7, if they Scob Wrangler, 2 of the 7 blockers go tapped, and that leaves them with 5. But certainly we just make them act first here on tapping, and then reassess from there. I've been nervous about their crackbacks and wanted these to die on defense, but with them at 9, we can start doing that on offense, and we're at 20. It's like with Crasher, Flame Channeler, and Wrangler, I just worry we get into a spot where I get greedy, I send in 3 castaways, they're like, fine, take 3. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have in this case they tap in this case only one, but like tap 2, untap, and then bam, take you from 20 to 3 or something like that. But that's just my gut talking. It's not like I've done math on that front. But now again, here's where I don't know what it gets me to it. If I send in, well, Mehdi, I'm making up the math. I'm saying the point is the math had me nervous enough that it didn't feel like it was viable, but I didn't do the math to the ground or anything. And now we're in a spot where the trouble with attacking with castaways is bounce block, bounce block. They've got 2 bounce blocks that don't even produce any result. They got 3 bounce blocks, so it just doesn't matter. I'm going to say no attacks and have spirit and counters up. But probably want a spirit next. Spirit with a counter becomes a must tap because it can attack through this this thing. So, and where are they tapping? Oh, pup. So maybe they're going for some alpha E, or maybe it's just like whatever. We got to tap something, I guess. The Oppo doesn't want dead castaways, and they're only really threatening on the ground, so they're really quite the blockers here. They're kind of hanging out innocuously, but they're really affecting the ground game. Really, I just want a silver bolt for this Wrangler, and then it unlocks so much stuff. Great. I put all castaways in front of that crasher. Watch him pull it back. I mean, it's just not a good attack. Like, do you really want to give us another 3-powered flyer? Please, yeah. Hey, speaking of another 3-powered flyer. All right, here we are lardering. What do we want? Probably a land. A basic land lets us double pup. And I think we want a double pup more than anything. But if there's some sweet action on top, we'll keep it. But if it's like, yeah, Might of the Old Ways. Might of the Old Ways is some sweet action because it does give us a attack into the Skrillex. So I'm going to actually keep the Might. But we get Might plus a counter as well. Yeah, we might even find the land. Not that we can Might and 2 Tamer, but getting the 8th land off the Might wouldn't suck either. Yeah, still just the 3 flyers. Still want all those castaways on blocks. And all right, making sure I'm not missing a win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not 9. We don't have easy reach out and finish them off, so we are going to take the creature-based trade here. You like pup first, but we might draw a card that changes things, right? I want to draw a card. So you gotta flip the switch now? Oh. Yeah, maybe I didn't need to use the might, but... Aha! See? Who's the genius now? Unfortunately, this is still a trade, but we'll take it.
I am too smart. I am too smart. S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T.
Counter may have been fine there too, yeah. Honestly, I just didn't expect Oppo to do anything that wouldn't require the pump spell, so I did it, but didn't really think it through, honestly. I remember to larder, though. Watch that. Do we want land? That's my question. Double Tamer. Do we want Double Tamer or action? Double Tamer seems pretty good trying to get there in the air, right? So I'm going to go for the keep to the land. Because that puts him on needing to tap a lot of stuff. And if they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they can tap 2 things and still have 3 ground blockers. That might be enough, but maybe not. Anyway, let's see what they do here and then do some combat math with my 2 hourglasses. All right. So yeah, we're just going to send in the air and put counters on and try to win. I mean, they don't have any, yeah, no cards, no flying blocking. It's just over, right? Yeah, it didn't feel like they had outs. Just felt like if they tap 2 flyers, we have the ground 1. If they don't tap 2 flyers, we have the air 1.
I like to do a little superior dance. Join me, boys.
Baby, how you feeling? Woo, child, tired of the bullshit.
Hey, Marcus. Thanks, Hat. Yeah, it was definitely 2 Duck Cube's thread on data analysis, and he's a great follow for exact if you like the data analysis stuff. If you, like me, don't know data analysis enough to do your own interpretations of the data, but would like to hear data experts weigh in on Magic the Gathering data, it's a great, great Twitter follow. Church Lady with Joe Montana, indeed. Is that early 90s or late 80s? Probably early 90s? We'll keep this. No blue yet, but Sentry on 2 on the draw. We'll find islands in time. There's one. Hey, Menudo, welcome. Glad you liked the episode. It's been great to hear good feedback from folks on it. I had a good time recording it for sure. Let's play the sentry. Cool, Noid. Well, hopefully you get a chance to listen to the full story. You can find it on my YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Yeah, whenever I make my way onto limited resources, we have some new visitors around here the following Monday. It's always great to have that happen. Well, are we willing to trade Sentry for Mob? We have Startle, so let's threaten it. The question is, do we want to leave it back on defense? If they block with a Flesh Taker, they can eat the Mob and trade, but we're still at that point trading Sentry for Mob, and that's okay. I think I'm going to attack because I think they might just go for the block with Mob play, in which case Startle blows it out. And if they go with block with Flesh Taker, we at least have forced them to... They're never going to block with Flesh Taker, though. I mean, I guess they could. Like, I guess if you're going to do that, like if you're going to trade Unruly Mob for it, you could try just eating it. You could try blocking with Flesh Taker, eating the Unruly Mob, and then eating the Sentry. And you're getting a similar situation there, I suppose. So why risk the Flesh Taker, right? Yeah, I like what Oppo's doing, but we're going to try and startle it out here. At least make them sacrifice their Mob and counter our Startle. So we're really using Startle as a 2-drop removal spell here, which is fine. No, it's not a blowout. It's just fine. But I don't mind the play. Like we could have left up Flip or played Castaway, I suppose. But in a blue-white and in a black-white deck with Flesh Taker, this is actually going to get big. I didn't mind having them have to give up their Mob here. But no, not a blowout. I do like the sequencing coming. Well, we need another blue, which I don't really want to root for since we've got land. Farmer kind of helps with that, but really I wanted to go, we'll go Gale Drifter here, and next turn we can go Farmer Castaway. Flip is still going to matter into the future. Do we want to trade Sentry for Patrol, knowing they get value out of the Patrol's backside? The backside even trades with a Gale Drifter, so I'm going to say no for now, even though we're not super close to Coven. I guess we are. Actually, I say we're not super close to Coven, but we're really a Farmer into Castaway away from Coven, so I take that back. We could literally have Coven next turn, and it's not even that unlikely. Well, we need another blue. Then we do have it next turn. But Farmer should help with that. No blocks. Can't you just cast away, then Farmer? When it die, I mean, yeah, we could. What I want those 2 blue. I want the. I was wanting 2 blue, but you're right. With the, I don't need it with if I don't intend to flip. That being said, I still want a second blue from the Farmer, just for variety's sake. That's the worst draw in our deck, I know that much. And look at that, it's going to try to punish us there. I'm going to go Farmer. All right, give us some Castaways in the yard. There we go. Is that so hard? We're going to Evolving Wilds later and Castaway now. Although, if we don't Evolving Wilds now, we can't Castaway next turn. So this isn't doing... Well, this is doing the work of Sentry Unblockable. That's an interesting call, actually. But Sentry Unblockable doesn't matter much anymore because of the 2/3 powers. So, yeah, let's do the Wilds for Disturbed. If if Sentry could get in for 3, if we got Coven, I would get Coven. But Coven doesn't even matter here because of the big boys. So let's Wilds. They know about it anyway. We'll get the island and continue the plan A of this deck, which is winning in the air before the opponents can get their S together. We have double block potential, though, at least. I don't know what's in their hand, but 3/1 plus 2/3 is effectively a 5/4 blocker, and a 5/4 blocker on the Silversmith or the Patrol is perfectly reasonable. They may be doing this feeling like, well, worst case, if we put on a double block, they can Flesh Taker the thing we double block. A pause with 1 white up. I didn't notice it, but I trust your recognizing that. Likely means Blessed Defiance. So if we're playing around Blessed Defiance, it doesn't add toughness, which is good. That means the double block still kind of does what we want. It trades. It's a 2 for 2 in that case. 2 for 2 that leaves this flyer behind. Yeah, Flesh Taker, it could be a Flesh Taker pause. That's a great point. Thanks, Siriana. We don't know it's Defiance. It could just be the Flesh Taker pause. Unless it paused on 1 mana with no other creatures, right? Because this can't self-sacrifice. So, I think we gotta, like... Look, I'm gonna do this... It's not about the ground anyway, so go ahead and use resources on our ground creatures. If we can get a trade for any kind of resources here, I think that's good. We just want to make another 3-power flyer in the air and try to get them dead before they get us dead. Cut Purse could suck here to get the farmer. All right, we're going to try and punish this card. It's done work against me in terms of like, oh no, we're stable, and they started self-howling mining. I mean, you turn this into a personal howling mine. That's pretty powerful, but I've been managing to avoid that. And now we get a nice situation of adding 2 power flyer to the board while holding up Flip the Switch. That's going to be way better than spending 5 to get 1 extra point of power in the air. Much better to get the Abomination going and hold up the Switch. We could make a case for Castaway, but no, I'd rather even just chump with the farmer before doing anything else here. We are at 10 to their 15, so this is not some, like, we're not even necessarily in the driver's seat here. But I feel advantaged, but tenuously advantaged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gives us Castaway. Castaway if we get another blue. I don't want another blue. But here's a great flip. Now, they don't even have Coven yet, but... get rid of that thing. Yeah, so here's where are we... we could even... We could make this trade, but nah, I'm going to bring out a Castaway to chump this, and for now we're just going to take 3. All right, so did not get Castaway plus Castaway because we didn't get the 3rd blue, but we do have Castaway plus Wolf, or we can... or Castigator, I should say. Castigator plus Wolf or Castaway plus Wolf. I think it again starts with an attack, just the air. We don't have some kind of alpha yet. And I think it's overthinking it to do anything but just cast away Wolf. You know, this is fine. We'll get our Hound Tamer back. With Oppo's mana levels, I wouldn't even mind drawing a flip here to protect our lead. And Startle wouldn't be bad either. I'll send that back in. Yeah, I could leave up Death Touch. I just think we just need to put some speed bumps on the ground, though, and we have the game in the air. So, especially with the extra 2 zombies threatening to help the Go Wide Alpha, they can pressure us with the Vigilant creature. If we attack everything, we get 2 on the ground for sure. They can block everything else. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, we get them to 2. See, now I feel like they're... What is this? Because now we just get the win, right? Unless this is specifically that pump spell and they go for some lifelink to get some lifelink back. I think we just take this. I think that by... no, I don't think we... Like, with only 1 mana, they can't kill us. They only pump once. And then, now they're down a blocker. And I found us at 10 with 3 blockers. So now I think they're at dead with 2 blockers. Let me redo that math. If it is, in fact, the +2, +0, and lifelink, that's a pretty good swing for them. It hasn't felt like what they've had, though, so I'm going to go for it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 2-powered ground creatures. 2 of them get through for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have it as Xaxes unless it's specifically that, that one trick. That one trick! So let's make him have it. And if they do have it, we might be okay with Castaway block anyway. Yeah, that's true. It's the any white... Well, there's only 1 white spell they could have. We say any white spell, but really this is Blessed Defiance or nothing. And since the Flesh Taker fully explains all the pauses... How are they at 13? Oh, right. Yeah, if they activate, right, they gain a life, which they would have to do. So, okay, let's be extra cautious then. We'll just send the flyers. I'm with you, gang. No need to risk anything, especially since it's not even lethal. If it were lethal, like if we did the math and even with the Flesh Taker activation it was still lethal, that's a little more interesting. I don't like giving them another draw, but I don't like losing to one stupid 13th pick common. I'll sandbag the land for a little bit of mystique since we do have pauses instigated by the wolf. How bad was this card for them this game? They spent 4 mana to gain 1 or 2 life, I think? 4 mana and a card to gain 1 or 2 life. Easy to pick on it when it's showing its worst case scenario, but the worst case scenario is so bad, or the floor, as we like to call it. You know, the floor on this card is so unacceptable, I don't find it playable. Even though its ceiling, when it's doing its thing, is a Personal Howling Mine, which is almost impossible to beat. Yeah, exactly. It's very much a strikeout home run card. You have a controlling deck that can land this and gain a little life. Like, you're not losing with a Personal Howling Mine, but when you pay 4 mana to do nothing, you're also probably not winning. Let's see. Do I got anything? No, I just got that wolf on Death Touch tap-in. I like Wolf on Flesh Taker, Castaway on Survivor, or Castaway on Patrol. So Castaway on Patrol for the flip. Wolf to try and kill the Flesh Taker, and Farmer because technically we have an Eat, although this transforms into a 3-2 that trades with the Farmer, but that's okay too. Really, we just want to keep these flyers for the crackback win, right? So, yeah, what are they getting back? Unruly Mob, nothing in here is super scary, so I think we just do this and then win on the crackback. And if somehow we don't, we have a Castaway in the yard to make another 3-power flyer. Oh yeah, triggers on attacks, that's right. But it's all coming down to this final turn anyway. Let's go ahead and activate this. Now we're talking. Castigators aplenty in the yard. Well, they got some life back, but not enough. We got this one. All right, good start. Already guaranteed ourselves a 50-50 result, even if we don't win another game. All right, Tron, bring it. Here we go. Let's see if I can get Tron. I don't mind an easy out. No, but the Game Over Man from Aliens would be a good one. Nice suggestion. Darther. We'll keep this. Larder into Castaway, if nothing else. No Tron. Oh well. That means Tron might win his 4th game. That's cool. Dealing with these Wranglers when you don't have the reach out and kill removal is tough, but at least we got a forest here we can farmer, max our mana. I suppose I could have, we could have decided whether a point from the Castaway was better or worse than a scry with a zombie. I went with the point of damage, but didn't really think about it. And I still think I would, because I'm I'm already happy with my next turn. I especially want a larger zombie when I don't have a good plan for my next turn. That's the best time to have those types of effects. And yeah, we need more green. Let's grab that. Tome. My spiel on this card is that it has 2 decent things going on, and it's not a terrible card. It's just a weirdly average card, and one of the reasons it's not amazing, things like Icy Manipulator are amazing because you play your 7/7 trampling flyer, my Icy Manipulator nullifies it. You're never hitting me with that thing until you deal with my Icy, right? It's just, it locks it down. This thing ices every other turn, which means that 7/7 flyer, trample, beastie, mythic they play is going to kill you just at half speed. Icy says full stop. This only says half speed, and half speed just is not that good when it comes to the effects we're talking about here. I guess we attack Farmer into the Wrangler, and then we Deluge at the end of their turn. Ah, the classic. This is instant, right? I mean, they're playing blue. You can make the case for doing this while shields are down, but I like threatening them with a lot of this open mana. And if they counter this without exiling it, we get to flash it back eventually anyway. Ice likes do it now. I don't blame you if you're in do it now mode against blue. I might get punished. But I'm also trying to make Oppo nervous as well. That's a good sign. Now, if they haven't played a third land, like maybe I do it now. Although if I do it now, frankly, I just should have done it before. But like right now, their shields down on, say, flip. If they find and play a land, they go shields back up. So I'm going to do it before another land drops. This is pretty nice. We have plenty of land, so we're just going to take our action. If they did, I didn't notice. Yeah, I might have screwed up my land drops, but being worried about it and not sure. If you're not sure, play conservatively. So I did the conservative thing, not being sure of that. All right, 5 mana. A lot of options here. Well, not a lot. We got really Falcon Abomination and Wrangler or Sentry. I think we go Sentry. We play our threats, and then we can drop a Wrangler that might clear them for takeoff when we untap. And in fact, next turn has Wrangler Gale Drifter, which is a nice turn. So, starting with a baseline attack. I expect Oppo's pauses are just all about this clue token that they're going to sack before they untap. And we're going to 2-spell it. Looking good. They've got a Wrangler. We've got 6 creatures. Soon to be 8. Next turn is probably Wrangler, Gale Drifter, tap, Zombie, Gale Drifter, Wrangler to clear a blocker, and swing away. So they do have 1 tap here. They've got their Icy Manipulator mode for now. I'm going to remember to Zombie. Sometimes I remember. Remember is one of our family words because my nephew used to say remember instead of remember. So sometimes the funny pronunciations the children in your lives come up with become permanent vocab. We'll just keep that, sure. Maybe play that over Gale Drifter? I don't know. Then it's like, go ahead, block. Yeah, let's just do that. Although I can still Wrangler, so might as well. And do we want to tap anything? This can't even block this. Everything else has Death Touch. No, it's just fine. Oh yeah, they should have responded, huh? They missed their opportunity. Now, do I want to send the zombie yet? I guess not. It still has some things it can do. We'll send everything else. I guess we still had enough to tap, but I'm just going to wait until we're alphaing to send the zombie. Even the Wrangler here especially. We can set up alpha next turn by using Wrangler to tap instead of zombieing for card value. Really, this attack, Rudy might be on the verge here of scooping it up. I would be. Yeah, that's interesting. Great observation from Oil Can that using our own Wrangler to tap something on defense immediately gives it death touch. Well, you can take credit for remembering your lessons. Now, let's see. This gets tapped. I still have 3 up for a Wrangler tap, so we're just going to let this happen. Tap down the Sage as the best blocker of those 2. Although we don't need to do it pre-combat. If they would like to attack us with the Sage, wonderful.
Not only am I your ship's captain, I am also your party captain! Woo! We're gonna get it going here in just a few minutes.
I'm your party captain too, and
Oh yeah. I'm running out of scoop memes. This is probably should have started with this one, but just for variety's sake.
Thank you. We got one!
I don't know, Oil Can. There's a lot of words on that rare. I haven't read them all.
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
All right, another keep despite only one color. Castaway into Hold Up, Flip, or Abomination. Probably just Abomination, or I'd like to go Castaway, Abomination into Farmer if we find a forest by then. Veteran. Card that a lot of us long-timers have had to come to terms with. This doesn't read like a good card to me, but it has played like a good card for sure. I do love the Intruder draw. It gives us Intruder and Flip. We can cast either one. Although Intruder is at its best when you can ambush and likely get something. So let's go ahead and at least attack with a Castaway. And see if that can't produce them, cause them to send in their own attacks. Now, thinking Oppo might not attack into this, but that's what I love. If they choose to play around the Intruder, we still have the switch for whatever they attempt to do after. But we're going to go and try to intrude here. The question is, what do we want to eat? I'm going to go with Mob. Again, black-white, the Mob actually scares me enough to want to kill it. And killing the Veteran just turns it into a different problem anyway. Although it does... Yeah, and it also pumps up the Mob. So let's go for the Mob. This is a great card for us to see because this is not our plan. Our plan is to win through the air, so 3-drop Death Touchers on the ground are less a concern. And now I kind of want to get the Abomination going to continue our air assault. But flip the switch plus Deluge in the case of nothing we want to counter is too strong. Too strong a possible, you know, because we're happy to play this. And Awakener is that must flip. Or do we, again, just not really care? We're just trying to win in the air. I think it's worth flipping. That card is so good. I'll flip it. And that's why I didn't like it, because they had 3 mana left. They can still play something else. But that's a heck of a card, that Awakener. We're going to... Ooh, I'm going to take this block for sure. Oof. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. No alternative. If we can do this and look for land. And at 20 to 19, we're not actually ahead on board very much here. We're actually falling behind if we don't add to the board with like Abomination. But we can also take 1 round of attacks, right? Take 19, 18, 17, 18, 14, 13. Even if they swung away, we go to 13, and then presumably we drop a Castaway. So, yeah, we got to cast something. It's just whether it's Abomination or main phase Deluge. I'm going to go Deluge, look for that Forest. There's Forest, and... We'll take a zombie over more land, though. Those farmers are going to get us a lot of land. And are we blocking? I guess I would block the zombie with my intruder. Would I? Do I want to block the zombie with intruder? We have big flyers coming. We could afford to trade one of them off if we thought. But I also don't think we're under that much pressure, so I don't know. I guess I will, but I'm not sure of this. I feel like if we trade resources, we have a lot. We have Deluge, we have Castaway for big flyer, we have Abomination for another flyer. I think we can make this trade and be okay with it. I think if we're playing the attrition game on their 2 cards to our bazillion cards, that's good. Oh, never mind. My least favorite card in the format for exactly this reason. F you, Wizards. Putting this ability on a stupid common that was good enough already. And wrecking like the one good thing I'm doing. Thanks, Wizards, thanks. Well, let's get back in the air here. Oppo spewing out just monster card after monster card now. That Horde has a great attack. Nothing else does, though. Alright, you're bringing that, huh? Really trying to get us dead quick. I am on, well, let's see. What am I on? Probably have to let him get the veteran here and maybe eat one of these. And then we take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We go to 4. They lose this. They have... I mean, what are my options if not this? Double blocking the Horde is not good. We can double block the Dawn Guard, but then we take too much elsewhere. So I think this is the only thing we got. I like that we can add 1 blocker for 1 mana, though. That's not the worst. Let's surprise them and come back and win this game. What do you say? We can do Larder Zombie, Farmer, and have 1 Startle. Probably should have farmered first. No reason to farmer ahead of seeing... I mean, I guess it didn't matter. It's not like we were going to draw a spell from it, but, you know... Generally, if you have a card that's not going to change the... your hand, and you have one that is, play the one that changes things first, and then play the second. And where are we at on blockers? At 4 mana, at 4 life, I just got to keep everything back here. I might have attacks, actually, with the Abomination, but rather than go into the tank to figure out if I can sneak in for 2 with them at 25, I'm going to assume that we're going to play maximum defense, and if we can get them from 25 to 0, it's because we firmly wrest control over this board from them. I think I just pulled that line of text. I mean, it's it just doesn't need the when you do. I think it's a perfectly reasonable, elegant, simple card without the second line of text. And if you feel like the format needs more of that, put it somewhere else. Put it on a weaker black card that gives it some reason to exist. All right, we're hoping Startle surprises Oppo here. And we are now on... well, we're going to have to chump, right? So let's chump with the Larder Zombie. And then try to take out the... Although we can do it this way. We can actually also take the Silversmith. They don't show us... I mean, I'm just worried we get drained. But we may need to just try this. And then go to 1 and take out the Horde. I'm going to try. We're on the verge of death in a lot of places here, but they're down to 1 card, so maybe this works out. You could do 1 zombie, 1 exile, and it's more balanced, but if I'm going to redesign that card, I like taking words off of commons and making them simpler whenever possible. So I would go for a fix that put fewer words on the card. All right.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
We're going to decline. We're going to keep that on top. It's more interaction, which we have very little of. And at this point, though, I am going to send the Abomination, although Abomination, we right now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, soon to be 8, 9. 9 points of power against these 7 points of attacking with Startle. Yeah, never mind. I'm actually going to continue to stay way on conservative defense. Oh, yeah, they whiffed. That's great, huh? I didn't call that out, but we kind of got lucky on the Dawn Guard whiff. Nice when that happens. Because of the Startle, I'm going to play the Intruder. We may be able to get the Phantom anyway. Get another shot. This time, oh, 2 whiffs. We'll take it. Don't love the Castaway in hand. Obviously, we want to... Oh, but I screwed up. We should have... Wow, look at that mistake on me. Wow, 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 Ryan. Forgot my quote ping, and it should have been a Castaway in the yard. Huge mistake on my part. Well, a minor mistake that in this case turned out to be huge. We're still going to try and win the game, though, and on that tick. How are we gonna get there? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers, a 6th possible. With the startle, I'm gonna try and lure them into a block. Not surprised we didn't have a block. I like to increase my degree of difficulty here and there. Some intentional misplays. Keep chat on their toes. Make sure that you have something to call out. You know, it makes chat feel good to find mistakes. So if I play too perfectly, people get a little bored. And all right, they're not attacking though. That's huge. Here I am remembering. Take that action. Hey, look at that. It's like, well, lesson learned, right? Lesson learned. We got this one. Three whiffs? I mean, at some point, they're not going to whiff, right? There we go. Castaway good here. Put some stuff back in. What do we like? We want our flyers. We want our hound to pump our flyers. We want more flyers. And really a might would be good. I guess sorry, the Viper's Fang is fine too. We'll do that. Good time for the champ to show up, which is to say late in the game. So it can still grow, but it's not some 8-8 we're dealing with, which has happened to me before, facing a heck of a big champ with all these decay tokens flying around. $12 cards. Also got to win before we deck ourselves, so let's keep that in mind. And if anything is close to action, we keep it. That's close to action, wouldn't you say? That's close to GG. If we can tap enough things ahead of a big alpha, maybe not next turn, that's pretty big too. Ooh, we get Scout Wrangler, Gale Drifter, and Hold Up Startle. But I still think we can even start with an attack. And with Gale Drifter coming down, giving us 2 flyer blockers, and them only on 1 unknown card, I'm going to attack with both Intruder and Castigator. I really want to... Well, I got to make sure I'm not being dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we send in 2 attackers, we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers next turn, plus Gale Drifter, Wrangler, and an active Startle for their... Yeah, that's just fine. I didn't, though. Look, Rob. Look at me not playing stuff pre-combat. Oh, yeah, that's true. This will produce another attacker. So maybe just 1... We'll go with 1 flyer attacker. I think we can get away with 1. And I am trying to get in my little damage when I can here. Wrangler's going to tap down something, though, with the zombies, because the 3 zombies is tap something. And Startle Zombie is another one. So really, we have a lot of play here. Yeah, but I didn't, Rob. I didn't. Sometimes I drag stuff out to see how much mana it leaves me. All right, at least we're not discarding, right? We haven't lost... We'd be dead if we'd lost life this turn. So, now if we let them attack, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers for our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blockers. I don't think they would attack, and we have the startle for it if they do, so let's welcome it. Let's say bring it. Seven attackers, yes, but we have the startle. We have the startle. I think if they go for a big attack here, we kind of... It's good for us with the startle. And here I just chump with the castaway and happily get another castaway in the yard. And we eat the attacking 1/1. So, and we'll also use this to tap. I don't know what they're trying to do exactly. Is there death triggers? I don't know. But I'm happy with this. And Wrangler going this. Oh, nope. Sorry, that's not how that works, Ryan. What are we tapping? Flyer. And then this and this and this is a fine place to start. Eight cards left. Can we get them from 19 from 8? Well, yeah, we're going to look, but actually we probably need to start tapping for... Maybe we can just get them. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, we can startle to get a 9th. And then that gives us 3 taps. 1, 2, 3. Then that gives them 3 blocks on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 attackers. They stop our biggest 3 on the ground, which is just a bunch of 2s anyway. So they stop 6, and then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Ooh, that's close. Oh, but this would be 17, 18. Oh, man. I counted zombie as an attacker, and it's not. This is too bad, because it would kind of present lethal. So I guess we're a turn off from that play. But in the meantime, we know what we're going to cast, so I'm just going to go with Wrangler tapping anyway. Zero hourglasses, Ryan. Keep that in mind. And, you know, I'm not going to do this yet. We're fine. I don't know if I want a larder either. I'm just going to draw. Castaway, shuffling back in is big gain here. I'm going to start there. I know it's 0 hourglasses. I just need to act. And then we want what? Hound, Flyer, and Might? And now, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Startle gives us one other tap. We can still send in 1 flyer. I'm going to send in the Gale Drifter. Yeah, I think we can handle... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So Well, if we attack 3 flyers, I think we're dead. Really? I think we're too risky to... No, I'm just going to send the 1. Maybe I'm not on the right count there, but that's what I'm going to do. Well, sometimes. Let's see. Is there anything we can do about that? Let's check our library. I don't think we can even draw a card, though, so I don't think it matters. Is there any way for us to draw? So we got the startle to draw. Now let me see if there's anything to get. Silver Bolt doesn't do it. Might doesn't do it. Now we're dead. All right. Good job, Oppo. So we can startle, but it doesn't matter. Good game. We did everything we could. We really held on. And we're 1 point. We were, I don't know if I missed a point somewhere, if we ever talked about that, but this is one of those games that I think maybe a top pro finds a win in that we didn't. Because we were really just, we were 1 point away from an alpha that would have gotten us there. And there was even an earlier turn where I was like, well, I'm going to be conservative here and not get this extra point or 2 of damage because it's so far off from mattering. And then it ended up kind of mattering. But I'm not sure. Maybe it still would have been a mistake to make that attack because we also probably, in that case, get attacked back. And then we'd be at dead instead of at 1. So hindsight, not even always 20/20. Sometimes Magic hindsight confuses the issue even more. But finally took a loss. It was at least a very interesting game. More castaways in hand instead of getting milled, but I'm going to keep this on the strength of Bolt into double castaways as we look for a green for farming. Oh, listen to all this noise. That has got to mean one thing. Oh no, it's because it's my pet. I just heard pet noises and thought assumed I had chat on or something. What a mistake that would be. Emotes. It's not even chat. It's just emotes. Well, red, green, and we got a bolt. So not bad. But this is like our only reach out and kill you removal in the deck. So we got to use it carefully. And now we're going to request a forest off the top from the Magic Gods. We have Castaway if we don't get there, but really forest is what we want to see so that we can copy Oppo's play. Really, probably just go Hound Tamer. Nope, no luck on that. Another Castaway and crossed fingers that we get out of this. Yeah, I sure could bolt a Castaway, but can't right now, even if that bad play is something I wanted to do. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go Hound Tamer, because then if we untrap and draw a basic land, we can play it and threaten it on attacks potentially. And then when Threat of Activation allows to get us through for 3, we can play a farmer. Why do you like farmer first? What does farmer first get us? I didn't see it as a huge difference either way. I guess this is something we don't want to die. Like we wouldn't mind losing a farmer. This gets us more aggressive sooner, but is higher risk. Well, we are going to get a land drop, because if we don't find our land drop off the top naturally, then we farmer and find it that way. Or we hope. That's interesting. Now we don't really have tamer attacks even with a basic land. Because if I send in a 3/3 with 4 mana up, they still have double blocks that are fine, even in the face of a bolt. Well, that's interesting. That is just screaming at us to try and get that dead, but of course they make it bigger right now. And this one's immediately starting to slip away from us again. I should have farmered before playing a land because we would rather have another forest out, but I don't think we're two spelling no matter what, so might as well farm here. And real problem, we're going to lose to the troop. Again, bolt our only reach out removal, and it's already gotten out of range of it, so not liking our chances here already. We can spend 4 mana to throw counters around, and Oppo spends 0 mana. They just pass their turn and throw counters around. We're not going to win that race. Our only hope is that the castaways jump in front, get in the air, and somehow give us a air win as we chump our way to victory on the ground. It's a plan, I guess. It's just not a very good one, and I really think we've kind of already lost this game just knowing our interaction suite. Maybe I am supposed to bring in a Geist Wave. Like, Geist Wave was a last cut over, like, Might. And Might has been okay. Might has done some things here and there, but Geist Wave as interaction in a deck without much of it would be welcome. Especially when I do have counter spells, so you can bounce and counter. Here we get to Might, and at least this is a nice blowout. This doesn't have a counter yet. It's gonna become a 5/6. This is gonna become a 6/6, so that's good. And we even draw a card. So if there's a comeback available to us, that's how it starts right there. We can play a forest and bolt something to keep troop out of Coven range, but we would really need to wait till untap. It's just unlikely to happen, because if they play any other creature that's not a 2 or a 4 or a 1, they still get there if we kill the guide, and like using bolt on guide just seems horrendous. So the other option is Evolving Wilds Wrangler here, and then Farmer Wolf. Yeah, maybe that's the secret sauce in this case, because I don't think we're going to use the bolt this turn. So I'm going to do this. Wrangler sure is interaction. It's not kill, but it can help us out big time here. Not tapping anything. Oh, man. Oh, man. Thought the troop was bad enough. Another thing out of range of bolt. It doesn't seem right. Damn. That's so harsh. All right. Well, second loss. Viper's Fang, interesting. Turns these ground creatures into lethal threats. I mean, lethal to creatures, not lethal to Oppo. But I think we really just need to dump more creatures here, go Wolf Farmer, and scob ourselves to safety for a little bit. And we can play the wolf and still Evolving Wilds. Have I played a land this turn? That would be good to know, Ryan. Then you'd know. You dummy. You may remember. Because I get a forest and we haven't played a land, we can still play it out. I think I can't remember. I'm going to take the Evolving Wilds anyway. Yeah, Fang would make some good defense. No worries. We have good defense this turn. Tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can even leave one up. Oh, haste isn't great. Haste is not great. In this sitch. But we'll go... Let's tap the biggin. Using the stuff we don't want to die anyway. I don't want the pestilent wolf dead here. I got enamored with the farmer giving us value, but yeah, Fang would have been fine, if not outright better. But here we are, and do we leave all these, or do we tap something else down? I'm gonna leave all these, because I would happily throw these castaways under the bus of two of their big blockers, and then the other two could block something else, so this is fine. We'll just do this, and then we have Wrangler to tap something else. Alright. Actually kind of like this. We go Village Watch, Castaway like so, and then we look for a 1-for-1 on one of the forests with a farmer. Although if we're going to do that, I suppose we want this dead over a forest, so let's switch those blocks. And then, no, I'm not gonna. I think this is fine. I know that I didn't necessarily play the Fang sitch perfectly, but I like these blocks here. Look at how many cards we drew. Yeah, I screwed that turn up. It's true. Although we don't know exactly what would have happened because obviously Oppo completely changes their play too. If I play the Fang, they don't make that attack. So really we're not in... If Ryan had just done this, the game would have gone this way. Territory we're in, well, now it's a completely different game and we have no idea what would have happened. So don't be hasty, Ryan. Figure out your turn. 6 mana gives us single spell. 7 mana gives us single spell. So 6 versus 7 doesn't matter in terms of single versus double. So although Viper plus Bolt is a potential turn that could matter. Yeah, so let's do that. I think that's actually probably the best threat here because then we can even let the adversary attack and know that we can death touch it. And we can really death touch anything simply by using the Scab Wrangler to tap it. So we effectively have all this death touch on defense. We'll see if and it's kind of a sneaky death touch. We'll see if Oppo sees it. Can always pick off one of those forest lands with the 3 at least. Elemental, what's that going to get? Duel for Dominance. Boo earns, but they can't cast it this turn at least. And our rare keeps it from being able to target anything but the rare. Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot their lands were creatures. But if they do use the... Yeah, if they do that, that's actually okay. At least it taps that down. And then... well, we can just bolt this, and then we're getting rid of the adversary at least. The Death Touch goes away here, which is too bad. And we don't even need to bolt it now. I guess we let the fight happen and then see where they want to go from there. And this tapping this, it's other. Yeah, so that doesn't do anything. Counter from Coven does matter, but we'll just let this happen and see where we want to go from here. Yeah, Bolt doesn't even get it, so we need to add in. Yeah, this has not been a great turn for us, but they still didn't have some massive attack. See what I did there? So it could have been worse. It could have been better if I'd played this game better. But now we're in a question of what we're looking to trade for here and why. We can just throw a Death Touch Wolf on just about... What about Death Touch Wolf? Take 4. Well, we take Trample here. Oh, sorry, I had 0 hourglasses. So I guess we're taking it all. Good plan, Ryan, good plan. Sorry. Not my finest hour, gang. Rope got me. Pesky, pesky rope. Have been feeling like we've been dead in this one for a while, though, so it's not, you know, I'm not even that upset. It's just, we gotta take out some things that we can here. But I think it's too late. At 8 now. We can tap this, have 2-ish blockers. I guess we farmer hoping to find... I guess farmer castaway gives us a couple more blockers. Let's start here. Yeah, sure. I'm going to blame it all on chat. That's my plan. Chat's fault. We need some kind of interaction. We need the rare. That would be nice. And what else even matters? Pump? Yeah, whatever. I don't think it matters. It's a pretty bad spot. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need it's like we need 3 of them to tap something and 3 of them to block. And this has obviously got to be tapped. This is me making legal magic plays before dying. Let's see how this ends with us in a win. But in case I'm missing something, I'm going to make legal magic plays before dying and hope that something comes to me. Oppo really in the driver's seat now with the dead Wrangler. We kind of need to cast away the Wrangler back in and somehow draw it right now. Like, maybe I just... Yeah, the trouble is this doesn't put it back in. All right, well, we cast away... Because what else are we doing? Maybe since we desperately need the Wrangler, it's the only thing we put back in. We got to maximize our chance of drawing the Wrangler. And we hope this is a threatening enough looking situation that Oppo doesn't attack us with a million things. It's really the 10-9 trample now that has us. Yeah, 10 cards left. We're almost guaranteed to find that Wrangler if we can live. I should have played the Evolving Wilds, although it is nice to have Hound Tamer activation. So straight up Pestilent Wolf just has to go on Adversary along with some other card to kill it. Or we Tamer the Wolf to give it 1 point of toughness to prevent the trample. But like, let's say we did that, and then that, and that. No, we need our flyers to survive. So we do that, and then we're chumping here. And I could Tamer and Tamer it. Well, again, Tamer needs to... So let's see, where can Tamer block and live? Let's put Tamer over here. And I guess Castigator gang blocks to try and get a kill. Can't activate Wolf and Tamer, which is a problem. But at least this bounces. So maybe we try and get a kill here. I have 1 hourglass. I'm going to let it resolve. Yeah, I know. Trample means that we have... Like, this is where it's tough because we need to both Hound Tamer and Death Touch. And I guess we can't do both of those, so we have to pull off, like... so Castigator goes on here. This comes off and goes on here along with it. It's all we've got. I was running out of time here. Oh, you had to play that. Like, we actually are not bad if they just have 2 lands here. We untap and yeah, maybe. I had no hourglasses though. It was better than letting the turn pass on me. Startle could be important. Castaway plus Startle plus we draw into what? We draw into Scob Wrangler, but that doesn't help us there. We startle into Startle. Startle into Startle could have us live. I think it starts here. Although, yeah, that's fine. Evolving Wilds will shuffle later. It doesn't matter if it shuffles now or later. Another Death Toucher. Anything besides the Death Toucher? What actually gets us out of this is the question. Because we don't want much more than that. Yeah, just the... Yeah, Nubby, I guess, would have been okay. Got to double block the breaker. It is just so bad. What's the ward cost here? Yeah, we can't even... Might have to chump the breaker. Yeah, if we had gotten exactly into the startle, I think we're not dead. But with the with no startle, we're just straight dead. All right, 4-0-0-2. That happens as well as you get up in the ranks. Another game where another player better than me and not streaming maybe finds a way there. I know I made some mistakes in that one. But I love that we're at 4 wins. We get most of our money back no matter what. But...
Is this a dead man, Doctor? Very dead, Mr. Spock.
Super dead. There we go. Found somebody. Wow, we've been stuck on one color in like every opener. Can I get one of each of my lands once in my opener, Magic Gods? Can't throw this back. We're gonna keep it, but frustrating to not just start me with both colors, please. Once. There we go. Thank you, Magic Gods. Appreciate that. Hold up Might for what that's worth. I doubt much here. Can't imagine a scenario where we play the Might of the old ways this turn. Not even saving the zombie. If they want to use 3 damage on zombie, I let that happen. So same question we've had before, Tamer or Farmer first when we don't have our 4th land yet. We might have it by the time we're really asking the question, but I'm thinking about it now. All right. So if we go Tamer, we have a better creature on board, but one we would less like to lose. Farmer blocks the Perforator just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and Farmer. You know, I didn't notice where the par pole ended up, but I didn't even love this deck. It's like it's not a great version of the green-blue deck, so I'm pretty thankful to be 4 wins with it already. But of course, it just makes me want to win more. Now I want to win more. Castaway Wrangler seems fine here over holding up Might, given that I want the Castaway to die anyway, so let's give him reasons to attack. Reasons not to attack, really. Getting wide on creatures. And Castaway holds off a lot of attacks Like, we had a game earlier in this run where we did not want to attack into Oppo's Castaway because we did not want them to have a flyer. Ended up being important. We won through the air with the Castaway still on the ground at the end of the game. So we can wrangle, but I want a dead Castaway, so I say bring it, Oppo. Now we'll tap it as the biggest thing. I could zombie. Maybe we care about our finding a land more than we care about tapping something here. Yeah, actually, I'm a little more interested in the top of our library. We're kind of on defense anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna take that action, bin the startle, and look for straight up land draws. That kind of sucks. But we don't have much reach out and kill. Hopefully we draw our bolt. No bolt, but there's that land I was hoping to get. 5 mana, we can Storm Spirit and try to win through the air. Seems like a fine plan here. Certainly don't want to 2-spell and give him more action on the Cavalier. All right, we will definitely save our Scob Wrangler, though. Although it doesn't save it forever. They get to flash it back again. This does draw a card, though. So let's save it and draw a card. That seems worth it. Trouble is it leaves our mana fallow. There's nothing else we can do with it now. So it kind of like we paid 5 mana for a Might of the Old Ways, but it's 5 mana that saved a Wrangler, so still worthy. And I still want to block with Castaway, so bring it, Oppo. And they're like, nah, I don't want you to block with Castaway. Now I'm a little more on Wrangler, although, are we attacking? Sending in what? Farmer into the Perforator? I would. But I think Zombie's still better here. We might find more Castaways we can throw in the yard. Might find land we don't particularly need to leave on top. Similar spot. Say no attacks and hold up the Spirit again. We also have Deluge if we don't Spirit for some reason. All right, this time that happens. Nothing we can do about it. And hopefully our... Oh, and unfortunately it did the worst thing, which is exile it from the game, and now our various Castaways do not ever get that card back for us. Another pesky card for a low interaction deck. Brigand we can at least block. And yeah, Spirit. I don't love the chances of this anymore since Trapper is on board, but we have a lot of flyers in hand, so we're just going to try and get there on flyer count. Make them not want to block this Castaway as best as we can. Larder harder here. We'll take that action. Pass on lands for now. It's going to be a tough way. I don't think we're winning. Again, they're at a virtual 24 here with the Sacred Fire. We just got a long way to go, and they're getting bigger and bigger, and our flyers just don't feel like they're going to be competitive enough. But maybe I'm underselling them. I think we want to get to 6 mana and then have like Hound Tamer flip for a turn, and we're just going to Gale Drifter this turn. Yeah, we're putting a lot of weight on these castaways, doing some chumping and then getting us more power in the air. We keep throwing 3 power in the air and they keep not being able to do anything about it except trapping. That should be okay. And also, like, basic land means they get to pick this out of the air for 2 life. That's what really kills me. Like, that's what makes me feel still like we're not ahead here. We're still very much behind. And there's the 6th land. Here comes a dead Gale Drifter or a Trapper. I mean, just Oppo has lots of choices, really. In fact, they can let it go to night and then dead Gale Drifter on our turn, allowing for Cavalier benefits and flipping the Brigand. So Oppo in the driver's seat for sure. Despite our eventual good chump with the Castaway, we're just asking a lot to try and get them from 19 to 0 before this advantage overwhelms us. Yeah, that's true. If they wait for our turn, we do get to flip it. That's a good call. Keep. So that makes me happy. And sure, we'll take this block now. Gotta take it at some point. We want it. There's another one for us. Bolt. Not too late. We have 2 good targets for the bolt, and we're probably going to play it and use it this turn, but if they go for the flip, we'll do it next turn. But let's start with an attack with our flyers and try to encourage the flip of the burn spell, which would be a nice swing for us. And we still get to drop the bolt. Telegraphs it, though. And if we cast it, it does flip it to day and lets them protect the Cavalier against the bolt. If we just want the Trapper dead, we could go ahead and play the bolt. If we want the Cavalier dead, we should not play the bolt. But I think we want the Trapper dead. I think we lose. If we win, it's because we kill the Trapper and our flyers attack unobstructed each turn. So I'm going to bolt and go ahead and make it daytime. Also, don't mind flipping this back to small side, really. Rob wants the Cavalier dead. But Rob, we're just trying to win in the air. Their ground creatures getting a little bit bigger here and there doesn't significantly change our chump ability. They've got a Trampler, so that does matter. But I think the crux of us winning this game is keeping our flyers alive and managing to chump our way on the ground as our flyers win in the air. Ready to throw the Farmer in front of, say, the Perforator here. Maybe we even, excuse me, throw the Larder Zombie. Under the assumption these creatures are largely just going to get bigger between Cavalier counters and Brigands, although that means you generally want to chump later because you're preventing more damage. But also this is a, don't we want Brigand dead? Can we get it dead? I mean, how do we kill Brigand? It's effectively a 4-power first striker. Like, what do we, I don't know what you mean. I mean, we can't kill it this with blocks here. Oh, right, it is a werewolf. It's true. That's a good question. I keep forgetting that Bolt kills werewolves. Thanks. But I really think the Trapper is the key. I don't think we want them with a Trapper. In fact, the fact that they get to Trapper even once next turn is pretty bad for us. But, okay, so Bolt kills it. I get that now, but should it? I don't think we want to do that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. We could go to 2 with no blocks. That seems wrong. So let's pass to blockers and throw... We could throw Farmer on the... Zombie on the biggest one and save Farmer for potential future chumps. I'm going to do it this way for now. And I guess we get to decide on the bolt on untaps anyway. I mean, the flying plan makes sense. It's just not a good enough plan. But I don't think there's another one. And we can kill the... I guess we kill the Fang Blade then. If the flyers aren't a good enough plan, we certainly use the bolt on the werewolf then. That gives us another blocker in the Abomination or the Tamer. We really are kind of chumping though. Let's see, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. We get him to 7. Then we draw a basic land. Next turn we Hound Tamer and we put a counter on one of the flyers and get him to 0. So that's our plan for winning. 6, Hound Tamer, 7. That means this turn we go Abomination just for another blocker. I don't know if we're dead here, but this is all I've got. I could also do... Yeah, this is why I feel like we're dead. I mean, I just don't know True and War Furnace. Like, what's the alternative? Maybe I only attack with 1 here because we just need blockers and I'm just dead if we attack. Yeah, swing with zombie for sure. That's true. Yeah, I guess we're just dead with the 2 blockers thing. So we swing zombie only. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So now we're just totally dead. Well, welcome all my new limited resources viewers. On this channel, we punt a lot, but we have fun. No, kill werewolf when we're still dead. Because the trapper, right? Well, let's see. We chump here. Yeah, I guess kill werewolf now and then I guess kill werewolf when we're not dead, right? And I don't even need to do it now. I need to do it now so they don't pump their team. Okay. Go to 1 because of the mob. But no, now we're just dead because they tapped the Abomination, right? Yeah, double tap, it's the thing. That's like, we just had no ways out. No ways out. That's all right. 4-0 to 0-3. The big swings. Is it chat Gauntlet? Sometimes that, although it hasn't happened, it used to be Gauntlet felt like it would be 4 in a row, 3 in a row to somebody, but lately it's been back and forth. Anyway. Big swingy day today. Started off 4-0, then lost 3 in a row. My piloting did not help there, but we were up against it in a lot of those games. I think top player maybe finds another win in here in those 3 losses. I think like a top player could probably squeeze a win out of those losses. But I feel like mistakes aside, the outcome was kind of just going to be what it was in those other 2. So, yeah, happy with 4 wins, though, especially on a deck that I felt came way short, really, for this archetype. Like, this archetype is supposed to be about ramping up to stupid flashback spells that get you crazy value. You know, like the really the sighting, the beast sighting and the ants. Having none of those in this deck really made it an underwhelming version of the blue-green deck. So for an underwhelming version of this deck, I'm quite happy with 4 wins, despite not being happy with some of my individual play. But, you know, Magic's hard. We forgive ourselves. It's our hobby. If I'm going to make my life worse because of how I performed at Magic, I should stop playing Magic. But you can use the sting of mistakes to help hopefully guide you to fewer of them in the future. Oh yeah, I'll show you that deck. Let me say goodbye to YouTube friends, though. It's a green-red werewolf deck. Not a big deal. Thanks for hanging out, YouTube friends. We'll catch you at the next event. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Hope you did not scream too loudly at your monitors during some of the more egregious punts there, but Magic's fun. I had fun. Hope you did too. Bye.